our new series, What Are the New Rules? We're going to take a look at how the workplace is changing in light of the Me Too and Time's Up movements. We're seeing Hollywood change, so how are the movements affecting the average office place? This is a talker. Deborah Roberts is here, and Deb, you sat down with a group, and I love, of different generations to see their take.
We let it all hang out, Rob,
good.
in one evening. You've heard the explosive stories, the raw, emotional accounts of harassment, and we watched powerful men falling by the wayside, and so many people, of course, demanding change. Well, the big question now is, how do we go from talking about it to actually making it happen? Well, as Robin said, we gathered together men and women, some just stepping into the workplace and others who've been there a while, and we discovered that this new reality is a bit complicated, especially between the generations.
Are there new rules? What are the rules now?
I think we're creating them. Our society has made a decision to take off our blinders and reevaluate what's acceptable in our culture.
With a new reality settling in more than 6 months after the Me Too movement, we wondered how men and women are processing it all.
I do think that we've had rules that have existed, but I think we're deciding to make those more clear.
It didn't take long for the groups we gathered, 20 and 50-something men and women across many industries, to hit a hot topic. Are compliments still allowed in the workplace? First, the older group.
Are any of you as men a little concerned, uncomfortable, uncertain about how to behave and what can be construed as what?
Yes, as a matter of fact, as I was walking the hallway in my school, is there this teacher coming? I just passed by and I said, "Oh, you look beautiful," because she looked beautiful. And then I said, "Oh, what did I say?"
So you worried about whether that could be offensive?
Yeah, because you never know anymore.
In fact, a recent Pew study found that half of men say lately it's become a little tricky navigating interactions with female coworkers. We noticed a stark difference among the younger group, some of whom say comments on appearance shouldn't be a part of workplace banter.
If you comment on my appearance at work, I don't agree with that. And really, any comment you want to give me, I want it to be related to my work.
But isn't that kind of rigid? Suddenly we're not really relating to each other in that way of, you know, men and women, but now it's very work-oriented and let's not cross the lines.
Well, we can relate, but we don't have to like talk about our physical appearances or how we think someone looks. There are other ways to relate.
I mean, I think that you could definitely be friendly. I've got a ton of friends at work. It never gets beyond the line of friendship.
Compliments are one of the things that create rapport. Rapport is something that's really important to solidifying and improving human relationships.
After bringing our two generations together, a clear divide.
Do you really think people should not give compliments?
If you just meet someone or it's someone who is a manager or a supervisor, I don't think that's appropriate.
Sometimes a compliment is just a compliment. That's all it is.
But the perception of it is what you're talking about.
It's the perception. But as a woman, right?
So my thing is it my fault if your perception is wrong, if I just gave you a compliment? Or should you check your perception?
I don't think I need to check my perception.
I'm just asking a question.
No. I think as a woman, I think it's different, right? Like as a guy, if somebody compliments you, do you second guess it? Do you wonder if they're just looking at your physical appearance and thinking, wow, like, you know, they just want me here because I look good or because of my work?
No, if somebody says nice shirt, I just think I got on a nice shirt.
Younger people have an anger, and particularly very young women, there's an anger there about the injustice.
Joanne Lipman, author of That's What She Said, What Men Need to Know and Women Need to Tell Them About Working Together, says 20-somethings are taking more than just gender into consideration.
They're looking at the double bind, the triple bind that women face if they belong to another underrepresented group, right? So
Black women,
Hispanic
women.
Exactly. And they're highly focused on that in a way that older people are not.
Do we have to renegotiate how we're all getting along in the world?
That just happens with any sort of progress. There will be new tensions. There will be new frontiers that we're trying to figure out. And honestly, it's just, we have to go into this with an open mind.
Agree.
No.
I think it's more interesting.
As times change, things change, you have to change.
It doesn't mean you have to give up your principles.
Right,
Doesn't mean you have to give up your essential, core values. Right now, the conversation is all about blah, blah. It's just so negative.
When we stay negative and we don't have conversations like this, that we don't say that change is hard work.
Yeah.
You do not change without work.
And that's something both groups agreed on, that point that change is going to take effort and conversation. After nearly 3 hours of talking and shooting this segment, Robin, not everybody saw eye to eye on everything. There was some tension, but they all said this was so useful to actually talk and maybe begin to make progress.
Exactly, and just hearing the different points of view, it's really an eye-opener. And you know, sometimes a compliment is just a compliment, but sometimes it is more. How do you?
Well, I think we all sort of know. It depends on the intention. As Joanne Lippman said in her book, she says if you're making a big presentation and somebody's reaction is, wow, don't you look cute? Well, obviously, that's not really a compliment. It's actually minimizing somebody. But if somebody is just sort of being friendly, it's all about how you know them. Right. But the bottom line, if you wouldn't say it to a guy, maybe don't say it to a woman.
Okay. We're going to ask the audience. I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to be a yes or no response. You have your clicker so we can get the answer right away, get the results right away. This is a question, okay, yes or no. Are compliments on appearance in the workplace appropriate? Are comments on appearance in the workplace appropriate? Let's see what our audience thinks.
And this is a big one, too.
Yeah. 64% of our audience, 61, oh, it's varying. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But roughly 60%.
And I'll bet you that
it's yes.
39-40% are mostly young people. But see, here's the deal. We still want to have fun with each other. We want to relate to each other, right? It's all about how it's done.
Your intentions.
Right.
And knowing that.
That's right.
I know you're going to have more in this series for us.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about mansplaining. A guy says something and everybody thinks it's great. A woman, they didn't hear it.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.